Hello, I'm Shelly Moselle, and welcome to Shell Shocked, the podcast. What if we knew then what we know now? How different would our lives be? What if we listened, really listened, to those who have gone before us? Listened to their life lessons. Would that change our journey? I'm collecting interviews with some of the most life-traveled people I know who are here to share their what-ifs. I invite you to learn their lessons with the hopes our stumbles are lessened. I share with you a collection of great teachers. If I knew then what I know now, your new journey begins right now. I have another exciting guest, someone who I have loved and gotten to know in the past year and a half. Her name is Krystall Poppin. She's from El Paso, Texas. She has taken hip hop by storm. Everyone in this city knows her. Everyone in Texas knows her. And she actually opened for Cardi B. I don't know, maybe you don't know who Cardi B is, but the rest of us do. So we're excited to have her. She has 140,000 something followers. So that tells you she's a popular woman. What I love about her, right here, El Paso, homegrown. And she has managed to run off into the music world. So let's take just a little bit of time, 30 minutes, 45, whatever it takes, to get to know Krystall. Krystall Poppin, I'm so excited to have you. And by the way, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. Cheers.
Cheers. I don't know if you're a wine woman, but
I am absolutely a wine woman. Thank you.
So we start with wine on every one of my podcasts.
I love it. Pinkies up, baby.
So some of our audience might not know that you graced the cover of the City magazine. Tell me what it was like to grace that cover. And I want to know about the photo shoot that we had so much fun in.
It was amazing. Honestly, I was so excited just, having the opportunity to walk in there and do that. But then once I walked in there and I saw all the gowns hung up and all your jewelry and just everyone kind of like piecing everything together and you styling at the same time, it was such an amazing experience and something I had never really done before, in that style. So it was really fun for me to just be like playing dress up and just like getting all fancy and everything. It was really fun. And the shoot went amazing. Jordan was really good at directing.
Shout out to Jordan,
yeah,
the
shout
photographer.
out to Jordan. Shout out to Jordan because I love when I'm with a photographer that can tell me what he's looking for. Mm-hmm. That way we kind of collaborate and kind of work towards, the goal. And I love that, like when I would like place my hand somewhere, he'd be like, try this. And then beautiful pictures at the end. Like that was amazing as well. And also the photo that ended up on the cover, beautiful. Like, I think that I love the fact that you guys, you didn't show me before. And I love that because it was such an amazing surprise. Like when that cover went down and everything like was revealed, I took a moment. I was just like, wow, like I'm on the cover of a magazine. Like, this is crazy.
Well, I have to tell you, I've been doing covers for 20 something years.
Right.
And when we unveil, nobody knows who the cover is. They just sit there and watch. Boom, it unveils. Mm-hmm. People went absolutely crazy. And I remember thinking the line of autographs that you kept signing went on right. and on and on. Never have I had a line that long of people wanting an autograph.
Really?
So Queen Bee to you. It was really exciting. And you were always so gracious. I remember thinking, you're reaching this amazing celebrity status, but you didn't forget where you came from.
Never.
And you were gracious to every single person that came up, that wanted a picture, that it was just absolutely amazing. And then you went out partying later, and we might talk about that. I don't know. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. We'll totally talk about that.
I love it.
But before we do, let's just go right in. Tell us about when you got the call and found out that you were opening for Cardi B. Come on.
So when I got the call, I thought it was fake.
Of course you did. Did you hang up on him?
I was like, no way. I didn't hang up on him, but I was kind of like, wait, what do you mean? I didn't think that it was real. I was just like, Cardi B's going to El Paso, first of all. That's crazy. Okay. And then you want me to open up for her? I was like, hold up. Is this real? So me and my manager were talking on the phone with the organizers and everything. They're, yeah, like, we would love for her to open. We think she's a perfect fit. She's from El Paso, women empowerment and all this stuff. And I was just like, absolutely, yeah, for sure. So then once the phone call ended, I look at my manager, I was like, do you think that's real? And he's like, I don't know. Like, this is a little crazy. Like, we never heard of anything like, Cardi B coming or anything like that. So it was crazy. But then like as time went along, they'd contact us again to like touch base on certain things, organize other things with us. And then some time would pass and they'd contact us again. And I was just kind of like, oh, I think this is real. Like, this is really going to happen. So then I just got really excited. And then I really started preparing my set because I was like, okay, this is going to be one of the biggest stages I've been on before, one of the biggest artists I've ever opened up for. And I want it to be perfect. So what I really did was I started practicing. I just really started like rehearsing. I started studying performers. Like I would throw on Beyonce and just like watch her performances and just kind of like get little tips here and there, like what I can do. And come show day, it was really hectic. I actually broke a nail right before I went on
no,
stage.
you broke a
I
nail.
broke a nail right before, right, like I was just putting on my last boot, and after I was gonna put my boot on, it was out the door. I was zipping up my boot, and my nail broke, and I was like, no. Okay, so I grabbed my nail. I ran out to the Sprinter van, a whole crew's in there, and I'm like, go to the nearest Walgreens. We need super glue. We go to Walgreens like fast. Like I think I'm already kind of running late for my set a little bit. So I'm going, we hit up Walgreens. They grab me a glue. They give it to me, and I'm just like gluing my nail on while we're like going back and forth, left and right. And everything was fine after that. You know what I mean? No one knew. No one could tell it was broken. So, and then just killed my performance up
Were
there.
you nervous walking up?
I was
exciting nervous, or what was it?
It was exciting nervous, but I think I was more nervous because I didn't know how the crowd was going to accept me. I didn't know if they were like going to rock with me or if they were just going to be like, get Cardi B on. Like, we don't want to see, But the craziest thing happened when my DJ, 3 a.m., when he went up there, he starts the crowd up before I go on. And then he started announcing, he was like, I'm here with my sister, Krystall Poppin. And then after he said my name, everyone started screaming. And I was like, okay, like, let's go. Like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And I think I was nervous before that moment. And once that happened, I was pure excitement. I was just like, oh, we got this. Like, it's gonna be fun. And I went up on that stage and it was crazy. It was a big stage. It was a big crowd. I'm usually really close to the crowd. I'm really easily like can feel their energy right off the bat. And this was crazy because I'm kind of far from them, which was new for me at the time. And I guess that also like got in my head a little bit, but I was like, no, I got this. And I just gave it my all, and I think it was a really good performance.
So did you get any feedback from her team?
I think that someone from their team saw me, like one of the dancers or something like that. And I think they had told my manager, like, hey, she's really good. Like, I don't think Cardi B saw me, but maybe she got wind of the fact that, like, hey, there's a girl that opened up for you and she was really good. But someone from her team let my manager know, like, hey, like, she's really good. So I was like, ah!
How exciting.
Yeah.
So other
so
big
cool.
stages. I mean, you had a UTEP stage the other
Yes.
day. Tell me
Oh
about
my
the UTEP stage.
Oh, it's been one of my dreams, like on my bucket list to perform in the Sun Bowl. And the fact that it happened, I'm just like, oh man, I took it all in. And that was really cool too. When they contacted me, UTEP Athletics, they hit me up and they're like, hey, we're having Noche Latina and we would love for you to perform during the halftime show. And I was just like, oh my God. It was so cool. And I was like, okay, yeah, of course. And they're like, all right, so get this is how long your set is, blah, blah, blah. Give me all the details. And same thing, like I took it so serious. Me and my creative director, we were like putting our Vanity. He was putting together like my outfit, like planning out the makeup, the hair, like everything. I was like, we're going Beyonce with it, dude. Like this is, we're treating this like the Super Bowl.
Good
like
for you.
we were treating it so much like the Super Bowl that we were calling it the Super Bowl.
Good.
And I was like, oh, this is my Super Bowl outfit. This is my Super Bowl hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like treating it like that. And I think that's important for people to like, whenever something's happening, like don't treat something like good happening to you like, it's whatever. Like, no, you should treat everything like important because it's going to be a moment, and it might be a moment you won't have get to live again, So I was just like, I'm going to treat this like it's the biggest show I've ever done. And it was a really big show. So it was really fun. The crowd was amazing. They were like really excited cheering for me. I performed with in-ears. That was really fun. I don't always perform with in-ears, but that was a really cool like time to like use them and stuff. I just felt like, oh God, it was a big deal. And I'm really happy that El Paso has like embraced me in this way and just kind of like accepted me as like, someone in the industry that is trying, to do this and take this as far as I can. And I consider this my career and my professional career and my livelihood. And I really love the fact that my city's getting behind me.
So I want you to take us back. One of the things on this podcast is we want other women hearing to say, "Hey, I could do that. She did it."
Yes.
Or she fell and she got back up and I can do it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of the purpose of this. So tell us where the dream began.
Mhm.
How old were you? And tell us at the beginning, like, where did the dream come from?
So, I got in front of the mic for the first time in 2013. Before that, I had no plans on being a musician, doing music. I didn't even know that was something accessible to someone who wasn't signed, or like I thought you had to be like with a label to even record music. I really didn't know how it went, like how it goes. And I usually wrote in my journal. I usually just like wrote rhymes in my journal and my thoughts would turn into rhymes, like as I was just trying to explain my feelings. And that's really how like everything came from like my writing like point of view. And one day I got in front of the mic and I laid down one of these rhymes that I had written down in my notebook. And then I heard that song back. And when I heard that song, then I knew that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Like I knew like this is it, because I tried to go to college. I tried to like I've changed my majors multiple times because every year I just felt like, no, maybe this isn't for me. And then I would try something else and I'm like, no, this isn't fit. And it was really scary because I felt like I have to choose what I'm going to do for the rest of my life right now, like right after high school and everything like that. And I was just so indecisive and nothing felt right. And then until I got in front of the mic, and that really changed my life. It really gave me like a purpose. I feel it really gave me like a motivation to get up in the morning and like to do something and go towards something. I just felt like music gave me hope that I didn't even know existed before. And I think that's how I knew that this is where I belong.
So your voice comes with a big responsibility.
Right.
You know that little girls are watching you.
Yes, definitely.
You know that younger women are watching you.
Yes.
And you know that older women are watching you.
Right.
And it's a huge responsibility knowing all eyes are on you. Like you have to be on.
Right.
What do you do when you turn off?
When I turn off, like when I'm away from everything in the cameras?
You just quit being that celebrity and you turn off.
So when I'm just away from everything and I don't have to be in the public eye, I take it all off. I don't do my hair. I don't do my makeup. I'll put on like just the baggiest pajamas. And I like to like take a breath, take a day where I don't think about work. You know what I mean? Because although this is my passion and I love it, if I don't give myself that break, that day, that week to just like take a moment, bring it all back, then I start just like getting a little disorganized. I start like stretching myself too thin. I've noticed that. I've done that. I've done stretches where like I'll go every day for a month straight and not give myself a day off. And when I do that, it hurts my work. It hurts my music. And I've decided to give myself that time alone where I don't put it on at all. Like take it all off. And that breather, just like taking time to meditate, eating junk food, you know what I mean? Like not going to the gym, literally not doing anything and just enjoying my time, maybe picking up a book even, that really helps me to center and to make sure that I'm good to do my job later on when it is time to turn back on.
So you're leading right into one of the things I ask everybody on a podcast. I say that we have this cup and our cup is full. And when we give to our cup, we give to our stylist, we give to our managers, we give to the boyfriend and the man in the life or the woman in our life. We give to children if we have to.
Right.
We're giving because we're women and we're givers and we give and we give and we give. And all of a sudden we see that cup starting to run dry. And when that visual cup runs dry, we feel like we're going to pop.
Right.
We feel like we're just like, I need that downtime.
Yes.
When you go into that time, which by the way, every woman has to give every other woman permission to fill your cup back up.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you, and when I was growing up, when my mother was growing up, women didn't give women permission to fill their cup up. Work, work, work. Be the best mother you can. Be the best you can. It was a constant work. We've now started doing self-care. We've started learning how to fill our cup up. You gave me a little bit about filling your cup up, but what really fills your cup up? Do you watch TV? Do you read a book? Do you play with an animal? What fills your cup up?
Honestly, the main thing is on Sundays, I put my phone away and I go see my mom.
Oh,
I go see my mom. I keep my phone in the other room in my purse away from me. We have breakfast or we'll have dinner. I help her make dinner. My sisters come. They bring their kids. I play with my nephews. One of my nephews just turned 14 and like I'll talk to him about school. My grandma, like she tells me about her little adventures when she goes on a walk with her friend. You know, like I really feel like those are the times that I'm filling my cup because I feel like when I'm away from that, I lose because that's what I do it for. I'm doing everything I'm doing in order to reach a goal where my whole family can enjoy in the future. And I think that when I'm enjoying them while I'm on this journey, it just keeps reminding me why I'm doing this. It keeps me focused. And I love the fact that I spent all this time with them today and I didn't even look at my phone and it doesn't bother me. Because sometimes, like, say during the week, if I'm feeling a little like I'm procrastinating on something or, you know, I put something to the side, I'm not paying attention to something I'm supposed to, by the end of the night when it's time for me to lay down, I feel like disappointed in myself. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't give my time to that and I should have. When I'm with my family, that doesn't happen. I can give them the whole day, the whole couple days that if there's a birthday in the middle of the week, I'm going to go sing happy birthday to them and we're going to see them blow out the candles. Like, I need that. And I think that's the one thing that I can say absolutely helps me fill my cup for sure.
so let's talk a little bit about, well, let's look at you right now and look at me. So you came walking in and you were like, what's going on?
my girl.
Got a little cowgirl thing going on today.
Yeah.
I have a party I'm going to later at State Line. Shout out to State Line in El
Ooh,
Paso.
shout out.
I'm going to a party later and it's a very Western. So I'm dressed all Western.
Yes.
And here you are all
I'm kind of Western. A little hip hop Western,
you got
maybe.
a little hip hop
You know
Western.
What I mean?
What's that?
Oh, look, let's see.
What's that song? I'm a little bit country and
Oh,
I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah.
Oh, way back in the day.
There you go.
I know, right? Okay, I want you to take me back to childhood.
Okay.
You know, anything. You can always say off limits. But
Okay.
we dig here. We go all the way back.
Okay.
Tell me about where you grew up, how you grew up, and I bring this to you because you didn't grow up with a celebrity mom and dad.
Nope.
You probably grew up, we've already said this was not something that was on your map
Right.
for years. You didn't prepare from a small child. You probably weren't performing in the backyard with a microphone.
Nope.
So tell us about early childhood as much as you're comfortable with,
Okay.
so that there are other people out there that might get a glimmer of, I can be Krystall Poppin.
Okay. Talking about my childhood specifically is kind of hard. So I'm going to give pieces that I think that would inspire people to let them know, you know, you can do this because I didn't come from any help. So when I was very young, I was about to turn 5 years old, I believe. I remember specifically this day that my mom woke up. She woke me up because she was crying hysterically. And I woke up. My sister was already awake and everyone's just kind of confused. My family's in the house and it's really weird. And I go into my mom's room and my big sister's in there with my aunts, my grandma. Everyone's crying and I'm just like scared, you know. I was like 5-year-old kid. And I sit next to my sister and my aunt was just kind of like, you should tell her. And I was like, what's going on? And then my sister said, Daddy went to heaven. And it's crazy because I remember that day so vividly, because I think that's the day I realized what death was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that was the moment that I realized we die. And it was very scary. And I think that that whole that whole piece of my life, like dealing with the fact that my father had died, my mother dealing with it. She's also a very emotional person, and she didn't take it very well. So she started finding help in other things. You know, she started separating from us a little bit when we were young. She was very young. I think when it happened, she was like 28 or something like that. 20, some very young, very, very young. And, like she coped in her own way. And I think that we also had to grow up trying to learn we started living with my grandma and my tias, and my uncles. We were all living in one house, and it was really hectic. Although we all loved each other and we're a very strong family unit, I think that everyone trying to raise us was very heavy on everybody around. And I didn't really get a lot of specific, like, special attention growing up. It was kind of just like what for the kids. It wasn't just like Krystall, or like, what is Krystall good at? What does she want to do? It was kind of just like the kids. So I was kind of just like pushed to I'm a middle kid as well. So I'm not the oldest, I'm not the youngest. I didn't get a lot of attention. And I think that's why I started writing, because I'm literally really, really young. I'm like elementary school, middle school. I remember journaling, and then I would just kind of like talk to myself in my journal. And I think that also, like, in school, I was very like antisocial. I didn't know how to like make friends. And I think when I was really young, I was very like eccentric and very loud, and like I couldn't sit down. And because of that, my mom took me to a doctor one time, and they discovered I had ADHD. They started putting me on pills. So I started taking pills really young. And I think once that happened, that shut me down a lot. That really like calmed me down. But I don't, like, honestly, I wished I wouldn't have been put on that, because I think it slowed me down in different ways. But it made me sit still in class, so I don't think it was a good trade-off. But that, I think, also made me antisocial. And people would bully me in school. Like, girls would bully me in school, guys would bully me in school. And because of that, I also like paid attention to my schooling a lot. Like, grades were really important to me. So I was really like interested in books, and I was really interested in getting good grades and everything like that. And because I wasn't getting like attention at home. But once I started hitting like middle school, I started like seeing the cool kids like drinking and smoking, and I was like, I really want friends. Like, I'm gonna start doing the same thing. So I started doing that really young, and then just like got worse through high school, and I was really partying and just kind of like getting lost along the way, I think. And I think without the like supervision that I needed at home, like I was able to just like get into a lot of trouble. I got arrested on my prom day. Like, just,
Oh, what a memory.
yeah. It was just like, like I just was doing a lot of bad things, just misguided teenager things. Um, and it wasn't until after high school, once I found music, that my whole life turned around.
Have you ever gone back to look at those journals? Do you still have them?
I need to really go see where they would be, because we moved around a lot. You know what I mean? And I think my mom has like storage somewhere. Like, I really need to go look through all the things that she does still have from our past, and she probably does have them. But I think, like, since we moved around a lot, I just lost track of a lot of things growing up. I don't have a lot of stuff from my childhood.
Oof, that's got to be hard.
It
Not to
is.
have childhood, tangible, touchable things that you can say, this reminds me of this time, or this reminds me of this time.
Yeah.
Well, I think we all have a story,
Yeah.
and it is about sharing our story of hardship.
Mm.
And then how we got out of that and then moved into successes.
Right.
Those are the things that teach people. There are people who are going to listen to your story at whatever age they are, and they're going to say, okay, that was me. That was my story.
Mm-hmm.
And she crawled out.
Yeah.
And I was that young kid, or I was at ADHD, which is interesting because I've dealt with that on both sides as a parent. And, you know, you never want to stifle your child.
Right.
And so there's going to be an argument. Woof, we're going to get blown up over this.
Yeah.
There's going to be an argument over, do I take the medication so I can sit in school? Or do I let my child bloom and blossom and have their creative flow and not stifle them and maybe make the teachers crazy?
Yeah.
So we're going to have some elementary teachers calling and complaining to us when we say, be really careful that the easy way out isn't necessarily the best way out for your child. I think I hear you talk about that.
Yeah.
And
sure.
reading in between the lines.
Definitely.
I think I'd find it interesting to see your journals. Not me, see your journals, for you to see them.
Yeah.
I bet once you did, you would have some music that would blow our minds.
That is
because I guarantee you have stuff written in those journals that should be put in music.
That is.
You have to let me know when that happens.
Yes.
Because I want to be there when you sing that song.
Yes.
You're going to make me cry, right? We're going there.
If you haven't heard enough, grab a cocktail and we'll be right back. If you've heard enough, just grab another cocktail. Shell Shocked is available courtesy of Chateau Trois Colline Nissa, a Lebanese Sauvignon Blanc, available at El Paso local Total Wine locations, and by City Magazine, El Paso's only monthly lifestyle magazine celebrating all the good things going on in the city. Learn more at thecitymagazineelp.com. If you heart Shell Shocked, keep listening.
Okay. Oh my goodness. It's funny because I do have one journal from first grade, but it wasn't the one that I was writing. It was the journal that my teacher and my mom made an agreement because I was so bad in that class. They made an agreement that after every school day, I would have to stay after school, give him my notebook, and he would have to write how I did that day. I found that recently. So it's like entries at the date, and then the teacher talk about how I did that day. And I was like, Krystall did not do good today. She was talking in class. She was running up and down. She said this bad word and like all this stuff. Or then every once in a while, they'd be like, Krystall did really good today. She turned in her work and she was really quiet. Like, I remember being so bad in that class that they had to put my desk in the middle of the class and everyone else's desk was around me. Like, that's how bad I was. Like, just talking, I guess, and just like, you know, like being like a troublemaker, and I don't know. But I think I was just like I just couldn't sit still, and like everything would bore me. Like, because I feel like I was really smart when I was young. And I think like just like sitting in class and just like, oh, like I already get it. Like, you know.
So you were the center of attention then.
Yeah.
You're the center of attention now. You see how you're kind of drawing a pathway for yourself?
It was meant to be.
You're connecting the dots.
Yeah, it was meant to be this whole time. It's so crazy. But I do have that one. So maybe I can make a song out of something that he said about me or something like that. But I know those journals that I wrote, they're out there. I remember all shapes and sizes. I think I remember this one little pink one that was like foam on the outside. And I think I would write in it like and then before bed, like I'd like write my little thoughts and then like put that one away, you know? So yeah. People
do podcast after podcast after podcast on how healthy it is to journal. And you didn't even know as a small child that was your outlet. That was like your healthy. You didn't go to a therapist. You didn't have access to all of that. And you didn't have access to someone to just sit every day and listen to your, but what you did do is you used your journal and you had access to a journal. I think maybe that's part of our takeaway is if we've got people out there, no matter what your age is, who might be in a bad place in life, writing down whether you write good or you don't write. It's not about that. It's about getting things out of your body because I think as women, you know, I'm going to use it because I say this, but it's like if something's wrong, we need to throw it up. And just keep throwing it up until we get out of our body. And maybe it's a one-time throw up. Can you believe we're talking about throw up on a podcast? It's a one-time throw up, or maybe it's a 50-time but that's how we cleanse ourselves and get it out of us and work through it. But I find it interesting as a small child, without anyone teaching you, that you knew this was going to be a healing piece for you. Yeah, I'm dying to hear this song that you're going to come up with.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh, no, I hear it right now.
I'm going to go look in that shed. I know there's boxes in there, like, with old stuff like papers and books and stuff. So I'm going to go I'm going to go find it. I think it's necessary.
I think so too. I love it. Okay. Big dreams.
Yes.
And you're a big dreamer, and you make them come true.
Yes.
And tell me where you are in 5 years.
In 5 years, I'm living on a ranch.
You are a cowgirl like me.
Yes, I am a cowgirl in the deep down inside. I'm gonna be living on a ranch. I'm gonna have a huge like hacienda style house. I'm gonna have a house with my mom on the same property. All my sisters, all my family. I want each family unit like to have their own place. If they can live there all the time, or they don't have to, but they'll have the keys to their own house. I want a field of almond trees so I can make almond milk. I want a bee farm so I can make my own honey, because that honey is like my favorite thing in the world. Like, wow. I love honey. Like coffee, it's coffee and honey, and that's it. Like that's my thing.
How good.
And I want like a really like state of the art studio where I can just make my music, where other people are gonna want to come record their music there. Have like a garden, have my own like tomatoes and vegetables and stuff, and I want to homeschool my kids there. I want them to have like I'll bring a teacher to them. I have all this planned out.
Yes, you do.
I have all this planned out. I want like my nieces and nephews to be homeschooled there too, to teach them everything that they need to know. They're going to learn about credit. They're going to learn about
that's a big thing, isn't it?
Yes, they don't teach that in school, you know what I mean? So they're going to learn about the things they need to know, how to buy a house, stuff like that. And I just want to be able to travel the world in my own, tour bus, or like once I want to be international as well. I think I can make all this happen in 5 years for sure.
When you talk about children,
yes,
so that's in your future.
Yes, for sure. Yep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what are we talking? 2 or 10?
I'm manifesting twins.
Oh, well, look at you.
I'm trying to have twins first.
Okay.
Because I want to like get two out the way. You know what I mean? And then maybe I can wait a little bit, and then maybe have a third, and then we'll see if I want more after that.
I love it.
But 3 for sure, and first 2 are gonna be twins.
You think you'll have a traditional family?
Traditional? What do you mean traditional?
Like mom makes breakfast in the morning, and you sit down at dinner at night, and the kids are playing in the front yard. There might be a little dog and a little kitty cat.
Yes.
Definitely. For me, it was a white picket fence. We don't do picket fences that much anymore. But, you have those dreams of, this is what getting married is going to look like. This is what my dress will look like.
Yes. I want all of that. I want the traditional wedding, the white wedding dress, the husband to propose to me on his one knee. I want all of that. I want to cook and teach my kids how to cook, and I want like everything that for them to say like is traditional, I guess, is like for the man to like be the caretaker of the family. I love that. I think that is important. I think it's important for the family unit to be strong, is for there to be a leader, which should be the man, and for the follower, which is also helping lead the man, would be the woman. And I just believe in that, and I think that's what I want for my future.
Again, we're going to get some hate mail over this, but you and I both have that same mentality of the role that a man or a significant other plays in your life. There has to be someone who is. Did you know that men's shoulders are bigger than women's shoulders? You want to know why?
Why?
Because they are meant to carry every part of life on their big shoulders.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that crazy? But that's why they're built bigger than we are.
Yeah.
And they're stronger than we are. So interesting that you have that role. Look.
Yeah.
Everybody has different dreams, and every role should happen. Yes. I'm a firm believer, whatever your dream is, make it come true.
Right.
And tradition doesn't have to be part of it. It can be, I'm going to be very right-winged, and I'm going to have 2 people that are my significant others, or maybe not. I'm a non-judge person. I think.
Right. Same. I don't pass judgment, which is why I expect no one to pass judgment on me.
Mm-hmm. I am with you, and please don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you, and please don't judge me. The world is big enough that we all just have to love each other.
Yes, for sure.
We have a lot going on in Israel right now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Whew, so it's day 6.
Today
is day
everything?
6.
Oh my goodness.
Inundated. watching the news right now and what's going on.
It's
And
so hard to see.
it just
all of
makes
that.
you so proud to be an American,
Yeah.
does it not? And to make, no matter the Democratic, Republican Party, whatever's going on, it makes you realize what our forefathers have given us and the
Right.
safety that we've been given that these people don't have. And it's
Yeah.
just heartbreaking to watch each one. It's just heartbreaking. I'm just having a really
Right.
sad, hard time with all of that.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
So, talk to me a little bit about 50 years from now.
50 years from
You're
now.
still going to be singing. Okay, let's backtrack. So let
Okay.
me tell you how old I am.
Okay.
Ask me how old I am, Krystall.
How old are you, Shelly?
I'm 121. Don't I look good?
Ooh, yes, ma'am. I love that.
I stole that from my girlfriend, Pam Aguyo. Shout out to Pam. She told me that on her birthday. I'm like, hey, Pam, how old are you? She goes, I'm 120 or 121. Don't I look good? So I told her I'm stealing that.
love
All right,
that.
Krystall, tell me how old you are.
I'm 121. Don't I look good?
You look good. Because you know what? It's really hard to know how old a woman is.
Right.
And it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah. I honestly hate that question because,
You hate it.
yeah.
I'm a lot older than
Yeah.
you. What do you think I feel about it?
Right. Because I just feel like the only reason you're asking is to place a pin on where you think I am in my life.
Amen, sister.
That's all that is. You're just trying to place me in your head where you think I am. And it's not probably wrong, So
And you don't get to do that.
yeah, you don't get to
Like
do
that's
that.
an ownership I'm not giving you.
Yeah.
When I have big birthdays, I don't want the big birthday parties.
Yeah.
Because I don't want everybody walking around going, oh, I went to Shelly's birthday party and she's zzz.
Yeah.
Recently, probably, well, I had a birthday in January, 121.
You're 121st.
Again. And
Again.
My daughter was asking, she's like, wait a minute, Mom, how old are you? My grandkids, my grandkids are, and I said 40.
Mhm.
And this is before I learned the 121 thing. And my daughter said, you're 40 again, Mom. My daughter's 37. Like it snagged on her that there's no way that I was 40.
Yeah.
But it's funny. And then my granddaughter looks over and says, honey, they all call me honey. Honey, you have less wrinkles than my mom, which was like phenomenal. But I'm going to bring it to our attention right now because you and I are laughing coming in. God bless Botox.
Oh,
And
yeah.
God bless fillers. Because I have a little filler bruise. Let's just go straight.
yeah.
You guys, my husband is 6'6". He did not slap me. A little filler bruise going on there. How do you feel about women and what they do to their bodies and how they take care of their bodies? And are you I'm going to have a facelift kind of chick, or I'm going to grow old natural and I'm going to be gray when I'm 50 and I'll never be gray? What do you think? Think about Krystall. You already know where you are. You know how you feel about this.
So I thought, I guess a few years ago, I was all like, yeah, like I'm going to get Botox and all of that, liposuction and stuff. And then as time went on, I think that I started like getting scared of it. And then recently I had a dream where I got like my body fixed and I got like the fillers in my face and stuff. And when I guess I realized I had done that, I was like feeling regret for some reason. I have nothing against it. I just didn't realize or I didn't expect myself to feel regret,
Interesting.
I don't know. And I was kind of like, in that moment, I thought I had really done it. And it was just like, I wish I hadn't done that, So when I woke up, I was like, whoa. I was like, maybe I don't want to do it, So at the moment, I think that I'm just going to go, I think, as long as I can.
Good for
Until
you.
I really feel like, okay, it's time. I want to see how far I can go.
Yeah,
You
good
know what I
for you.
mean?
You think you're going to be gray?
Maybe not gray.
Okay. I see beautiful gray hair.
Uh-huh.
I do not have that beautiful gray hair.
Yes.
My gray hair is like all over the place, crazy. It goes in flying place. You had to fix it a while ago, and that's the gray that was going everywhere. Let's talk. So I don't have that beautiful, gorgeous gray hair. If I
Right.
did, I would probably go gray.
Right.
Yeah. Probably not. I think I'm going to be bottle number 51
Right.
all the way to my death.
Right.
And
yeah.
but hopefully, I'm kind of with you. Hopefully I don't ever do anything that I can't unfix.
Right. I think
because-
that's what it was.
Yeah, because
The
there's
permanence
the
of
permanent.
it,
The people that thought I recognized you. Never mind, you're not the person I knew before. Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, I see me getting my eyes done.
Yeah.
Maybe a facelift is down in the future
Yeah.
someday. Maybe not. We'll see.
Oh, well, I do think that maybe after I'm done having children, I might do mommy makeover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, the difficult things that I can't, like I'm trying to work on that are just taking forever or whatever, you know? I think that that's cool. But maybe before kids, I wouldn't, because then they're going to mess you up anyway.
Mess you up also.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'll just wait till I have kids and then later on. And then I can maybe when I am 50 and later on, 60 and stuff. I think that okay, like let's lift this
Little
part,
tuck, little
little tick, little nip, little tuck. But I think so. I used to be a hairstylist, and
I forgot about that.
I'm a licensed cosmetologist to this day.
Good for you.
So I think because the hairstylist in me because of that, I think I'm always gonna be dyeing my hair for sure.
Yeah.
And I think like later down the line, I'm gonna be doing fun things. Like I want to go all blonde one day. Like
I did that during COVID.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
It's platinum as you could be during COVID. No one saw it but me. But yeah, it was a lot to keep up when you're alone for two.
Right.
I almost said alone by myself.
Yeah.
That's a double what? But when you're alone for 2 years in a house. Yeah, I was like completely platinum.
Right. You're just like doing everything.
Just doing anything you can.
Doing anything you can.
Okay,
for sure.
Krystall.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to have a leave behind for women. I want you to have a leave behind of things that you say, I did this. Ugh, what a regret.
Yeah.
And I have a regret. And yes, I fell down and yes, I skinned to my knees, but guess what? I got back up. And this is how I got back up. Tell me a little bit about oops, I got back up and how I fixed it.
Okay, I have a really good one, and I think that to this day, it makes me feel like, man, I wish I would have done it differently. But so in 2016, I dropped my first album, which is called Starstruck. And it was the first professional studio I went to record. It was really the first time that I put a body of work together. And I think that because I was so new at like that level of music making, I was doubting myself throughout the whole project. Every day I would go in there and leave like kind of feeling defeated because I feel like I didn't do my best. So, but I still pushed through, ended up putting the album out. People were giving me mixed reviews about it. And at this time, I hadn't really given anything for the haters to come out, like I had hate here and there, but once I put out my album, this swarm of haters came at me, and it was so new to me. I had never experienced that, and I didn't know how to deal with it, and it affected me really, really hard. Like it really hit me hard. Like every hate comment, I would just think about it all day, and it would just like drag me down. And at the end of 2016, throughout the time that I was getting hate, I was starting to like back off of social media. I wasn't really like promoting my album. I was kind of like running away. And at the end of 2016, I like decided that, you know what, I'm going to quit music. Like this is,
wow, I got you that bad.
Yeah, it got me that bad. And I fell into this depression, really, really bad. A depression so bad that when I would wake up in the morning, I would like have a deep sigh because I didn't want to do the day, like great, like I'm awake, like I have to live right now, and I didn't want it. I really was lost, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I would eat, and then I'd have like a cry in the middle of the day just because I didn't know what to do. And I wasn't making music. And I was really depressed. And the day that I decided that I was so I lived in Vegas at this time. And the day I decided, okay, you know what, like I'm going to officially quit. I'm going to move back to El Paso. I'm going to get my job back at the salon. And I'm just going to pick up where I left off and forget about this dream. And that day that I decided I was going to do that, my first producer called me on the phone, and I hadn't talked to him in years. And he called me on the phone, and he was just like, "Hey, KP, how you doing?" And I put on a fake smile for him, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, Cass? I'm good. Yeah, how you doing?" And he's like, "I'm doing great. I don't know. I just feel like calling you right now and letting you know that project was awesome, girl. Like, I'm so proud of how far you came. It's amazing. It's so professional." And he's like, "I'm proud of you. Like, you're gonna do good. Like keep it up." And I was like, "Okay, great." And he's like, "All right, great talking to you. Okay, bye." And then we hung up, and I just started crying and crying and crying. And I was like, there's no way I got that phone call right now. Like, the day I decided I was going to give all this up forever, he called me and he let me know, like, you can't, And
The universe spoke.
The universe spoke at that moment.
Yeah.
And that's how I took it. And I take signs. Like, if I see this is a sign, I accept it. I don't fight it. And I was like, this is a sign. This is from God. This is the universe telling me that there's no way you're going to quit and give up like this. Pick yourself back up. And after I got that phone call, I was like, you know what? I'm picking myself back up. And that's exactly what I did. I got my laptop. I didn't even know how to record myself at this point.
Wow.
I downloaded a program called Ableton. I started looking up YouTube videos, how to record yourself, how to set it up. I started like really learning how to structure a song. I was like, I'm gonna teach myself this because no one's ever taught me this. I taught myself how bars are supposed to be written, and just like I really went to YouTube University. Okay?
Good for you.
I went to YouTube University, and I buckled down, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. And that's when I started getting into studying music. That's when I started getting into being more creative, stop putting myself in a box. I started studying other artists. I started watching performers. I really took this like this is going to be my career after that phone call. And it changed my life. And that's what I did.
So bad reviews that you get today, what do they do to you?
They don't affect me at all. It bounces off me. It's like, I've gotten so good at hate comments that now I got comments back to them. I hurt someone's feelings now.
You know what? I was told a long time ago, and it was by a woman who was my mentor, who was 25 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And she said, I'm going to tell you one thing. She said, get ready for this. And I've heard it. And this was this woman who, her hair was sleeked back. She smoked this long cigarette. She had hooker red lipstick going down. Pretty woman. And she commanded attention when she walked in the room. But she said, get ready, Shelly. She said, you're going to have a lot of lovers. She didn't mean lovers like men lovers.
Yeah,
she
like people that love you. Yeah.
But she said, you're going to have a lot of haters. Mm-hmm. And she said, if they're not hating on you, you're not at the top.
Ooh, preach.
And if you're at the top, you're going to get a lot of haters. Mm-hmm. But you got a lot of people looking at you, and your responsibility is huge. Mm-hmm. So you can't trip. If you trip, you got Oprah Winfrey says it. I quote Oprah Winfrey all the time. Oprah Winfrey says, who's the one that decides how long it takes you to get back up? So if you trip, you don't get to stay down very long because you have worked too hard to get to the top, and there are too many people watching you.
Yep.
But remember that there is nobody who hates the person in the corner that's not living their dream, that's living a quiet little corner, and they close the door every day. And it's okay if that's the way you want to live.
Right.
They're not going to get a single hater. Mm-hmm. So haters are compliments. And I take them that way right now. Yep. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you hate me on my social media, guess what? That's my platform. Mm-hmm. Those are my friends. Mm-hmm. I will defriend you like that.
Black.
You do not get to talk about me in my home or on my social media.
Can I cuss on here?
Of course.
I always tell myself, you can't shit in my garden.
You can't shit in my garden. And you know what? You're right on that, right? Yeah. It's totally 100%. It's my garden.
Yeah.
It's my house. You don't come into my house and do that to me. So that is one of the things that I think that women, look, we're going to have a few men that listen to this, but I got a lot of women that listen to this. That's one of the things that women need to hear is the more haters you have, you're either a demon, and we need to kick you to the curb. Yeah. Or guess what? You're climbing. And it's a compliment. So keep climbing. And you got to figure out how you shrug it off, how you journal it off, how you do whatever you do, and how you get to the top.
definitely. Yeah, you have to learn. If you can embrace the hate and laugh at it and actually poke fun at them back
And defriend them.
block them.
Block
If you become a master at that, nothing is gonna stop you.
Nothing rolls off.
Nothing
So
is gonna stop
there's a
you.
maturity that comes in. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking age maturity. I'm talking maybe maturity that comes from a lot of hits.
Mm-hmm.
But is a maturity. Well, Krystall, we're winding down.
Yes.
And so what I say, I always drink more than anyone else. What I say is, it's 5:00 somewhere,
Mhm.
but when we get to the end of the wine glass, it means we're almost at the end of this podcast.
Okay. I
If
need
you
to catch
could
up.
leave, that's going to take a chug for you. Glad you
little
have
chug for-
glad
for
you have a
sure.
driver back there sitting there staring you down.
Mhm.
Any last things you'd like to tell our audience who has watched you climb, watched you stand still,
Mhm.
then really watched you climb,
Yep.
and heard all your dreams and where you've been and where you're going and what's going on with you. And I watch you, right? I'm a little
Yes.
stalker. Every
Yes.
now and then I do this little stalking thing on you because I got my eyes on you.
Yeah.
That being said, anything that you have left that you would love to tell our women who are listening to you?
Yes. All this stuff was happening, and it was making my attitude not fun to be around. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, oh, just don't talk to me. Don't talk to me right now. Don't talk to me right now. And then I realized I was like, I'm always going to be in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I climb, the worse they're going to get.
Mhm.
The more stressful they're going to get. The more intense they're going to get. Do I always want to be grumpy and be hating it? No.
You're living the moment right now.
Exactly. And I this year I realized I was like, I need to embrace this shit. Like, I need to love this shit.
I'm living the moment.
Yeah, like that's what I need to do. And now I'm having the most fun in my life that I've ever had. And my life is way more hectic right now than it was a couple years ago.
And you're loving it.
And I'm loving it. And it was that little switch that I just told myself, I was like, embrace the hecticness. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Good
guys.
lesson.
Yes.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Krystall Poppin, tell everyone how they follow you.
So everyone, you can follow me at Krystall Poppin. That's Krystall with a K and 2 L's. Poppin everywhere. I would start with Instagram because that's where you can find everything out about me. It's very current. I try to stay up to date with you guys. I try to talk to as many people as I can. Other than that, if you really want to get to know me and kind of like talk to me one-on-one, I go live on my YouTube channel every Tuesday at 8 p.m. I have a show called Bring a Friend, and in there I just
Bring a friend?
Bring a friend, F-R-E-N, friend.
Friend. Love it.
Bring a friend. And I just go in there and I give my time to the people who, want to go in there and get to know me and tell me about their lives. And I just kind of like talk to them for a little while every Tuesday night. Other than that, you can check out my music, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere else. I'm dropping music videos all the time. Just go search me, follow me on all these platforms. And I promise that you won't be disappointed. And I'm going to try my hardest to make El Paso proud and kind of take us to new heights and new places that I feel like we've never been. And it's my duty and my honor to have this responsibility to have these people watching me and look at me as a role model and someone that they might want to be like, or someone that they can, enjoy having a part of their lives. I would love that. So yeah, definitely check me out.
Okay. Well, you've gotten to know a small piece of Krystall Poppin. I promise you, if you follow her on all of her platforms, you will not be sorry. You are going to see this. She's all over the place. But what she is she's real. She has a phenomenal heart. She's kind to everyone she meets. And she can sing. She has a set of lungs that are going to blow you away. I hope you follow her. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you get to know a little bit about the hip hop world. Mm-hmm. And if you're not a hip hopper, go pick some songs out that you like of hers, because she has a genre of music that you're going to fall in love with. She's sophisticated. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. And I am madly in love with her. And I think you will be too. So thank you for tuning in to us today. And I hope you've enjoyed getting to know Krystall Poppin. I'm Shelly Moselle, and you've been listening to Shell Shocked. I'm available on the iHeart app or wherever you listen to your podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and join me next week. Until next time, kiss this.